Alrighty, 49ers just announced several roster moves, including the release of veteran linebacker Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, who's been on the team for a decent amount of time. I believe 5, 6 years he's been on the team. In addition to the release of him, the team has tendered one-year contracts to the following exclusive rights free agents, and these free agents include Evan Anderson, Alex Barrett, Jalen Graham, Sam Okuwanu, Austin Pleasance, Jake Tongs, and Braden Willis. But I definitely want to get into Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles because he signed with the team in 2019 as an undrafted free agent. And throughout his 5-year career, he appeared in 73 games. 7 games were starts. He registered 59 tackles, 1 sack, 3 passes defensed, 1 interception, and then 37 special teams tackles. He also appeared in 9 postseason games, tallied 5 tackles, 1 pass defensed, 1 forced fumble, 7 special teams tackles. And then just this past year in 2024, he appeared in 12 games. 3 of those were starts, and he registered 11 tackles, 2 passes defensed, 1 interception, and added 6 special teams tackles. So Flannigan-Fowles, I mean, this is a guy that's been on the team for a long time. And, obviously they've done this thing in the past where they've released longtime players that have been on the team, but they typically sometimes bring those players back. Dante Johnson's a perfect example, the longtime cornerback who the 49ers released and then would bring back, and then they'd cut him again, and then they'd bring him back again. But I don't necessarily think Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, I don't think he's going to be back. I definitely think his run with the 49ers is up. He was part of the trend, in which the 49ers drafted safeties in college and kind of transitioned them to linebackers in the NFL. I think for the most part, number one, Flannigan-Fowles was set to be an unrestricted free agent. So this could be more procedural, or word is getting out that the Niners are parting ways with, Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles and won't bring him back on like a veteran minimum contract, in which they did in the past. But that does leave the linebacker room as Fred Warner, D. Winters, Tatum Batoon, and those are the only players really who's seen playing time in 2024 at linebacker. And all of these guys are currently under contract for this upcoming season. But obviously, Dre Greenlaw, the 4th linebacker that I didn't list here, remains one of the bigger dominoes that will, be either re-signed or they're going to let him walk. I mean, that's going to be one of the bigger dominoes in the 49ers offseason that they're going to have to figure out. But Flannigan-Fowles, I mean, he was an integral part of the special team unit. But again, I mean, with how the special teams unit kind of struggled this past season, I don't know, man. I mean, Flannigan-Fowles also missed or just didn't play in 5 of those games this past season. So I definitely could have seen this coming from a mile away for them to move on from him. So, again, it doesn't look like they're going to bring him back to any capacity. Because, again, I mean, typically in the past, they've moved on and have released, long-time players on the team, but then they typically bring those players back. I don't think this is going to be the case. I think his time's done in San Francisco. And I think the 49ers feel pretty good about, D. Winters and some of the younger guys that they currently have under contract. But they got to re-sign Greenlaw. That's the biggest thing. I've been super adamant about that. I made multiple videos about it. They need to do everything in their power to bring Greenlaw back. Greenlaw is one of the motors of the defense. That's a guy that you cannot move on from and let walk. So let me know what you guys think of these roster moves in the comments down below. Obviously, I wish nothing but the best for Flannigan-Fowles. He's been on the team for a very long time. He's been a decently productive special teamer, but the 49ers, I mean, this is going to be one of many hard decisions that they're going to have to make this offseason. And obviously, this one's not nearly as, it doesn't nearly have the magnitude that moving on from Greenlaw will or moving on from Hufanga will have. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. This is going to be an intriguing offseason for the Niners. But they better bring back Dre Greenlaw. That's one thing I will say. So let me know what you guys think of these moves in the comments down below. As always, go Niners. I'll see you guys in the next one.